Hey everybody, so today I'm gonna try and show you guys how to replace these pivot bearings on my R1150 with the Nushings. So let's get started. So I'm gonna just apply, I'm gonna make this slightly tight. I just don't want, in case of an accident, the center stand to move. So with this, I'm just gonna lock it on with the front wheel. So pretty much just slightly tight. I just don't want to apply too much pressure. Being said that, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take out the mud guard, and then I'm gonna proceed to take out this. So as a quick note, how can I know that the pivot bearings are wrong and not the main drive shaft bearing? It's pretty simple. So you need two persons to do this. So let's show how to check if it's the pivot bearings, which are here. Okay, so with my assistant Veronica, she's gonna go up on the motorcycle, and then she's gonna lean all the way forward as much as she can and press the brake. Then she's really light, so I'm gonna have to help it. And then with the brake pressed, right, I cannot move the wheel, but if I do this, you can hear a small tick. Let me just make it closer. There you go. So as you can see, the problem is with the pivot bearings. If the brake was pressed and the tick disappeared, then the issue will be with the main bearing of the final drive. Luckily for me, it's not that. All right, so we have 3 screws in here for the mud guard. So I'm just gonna proceed and take them out. All right, so now that I have this, I always, as a good practice, I always try to put the screws to where they belong so they don't get lost. So in this case, I just have a screw nut here because this one is broken. But for these two, I'm just gonna place them here. Next, what I want to do is take out the rear caliper and the ABS sensor. Alright, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of force in here and move the brake pad slightly so it just gets out easily. Alright, so now we're left with the ABS sensor. Then we take it out even like this. Good. So now what I'm gonna do is zip tie this here, the frame. So next I'm just gonna loosen the nut in here. One important thing is that the ABS sensors goes through the whole final drive, and here uncover the dust can go inside here. So what I'm gonna do is just put some of these just to avoid or to not get contamination inside. So since we have this without anything attached, the next step is taking out these pivot pins. So unfortunately this has Loctite inside, so we will have to heat it up until like 100 Celsius, and then to melt the Loctite, and then we can like take them out. Before we do that, we just take out this boot and try to keep it as away as possible from the heat. So I'm gonna start by taking out the nut from this side. After this is out, I'm gonna take this out. It's important to try to keep the heat in the nut and towards the front of the motorcycle to not touch the boot. I don't want to hit the boot. Around 90 degrees. That will be 190 Fahrenheit. So let's try it out. There you go. Nice. Good. All right. So now that we have these out, let's go to the other side. Same procedure around 100 degrees. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that like that. Let's wait a little bit until it cools down so we can like touch it. And then we carry on. Since this has cooled down, now we just proceed to take this out. Oops. I'm not gonna take it out all. I'm gonna take out this thing and proceed to take out this screw. So I'm just gonna let this be placed in there while I unscrew the other side. Right, here's the first one. Let's go for the second one. And finally, I'm gonna take this out, and with this, the final drive just slides out. Here you go. Easy. So next step is just cleaning, so we can proceed with taking out this part, and then we can take out the bearings, or the needle bearings, which are these ones. All right, so next is we want to take out this yoke. So what I'm gonna do is put this and core it so I don't damage these, and with the hit, this should come out. And then it just comes out. That will be it. Now we can proceed to change the pivot bearings. So just like to be 100% sure that the problem is in the pivot bearings, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out each one and just check. I just want to see. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of pressure here, and I'm gonna clean them up, and you can see that this one looks okay, like there are no markings in here. So let's check the other one. I'm just gonna leave this here. I'm gonna take this other one out. Let me just clean it. And here is the problem. You can see that there are markings in here, and this is what causes that tick when we move the wheel, as you can see here. So for comparison, you can see this one is correct, but this one needs to be changed because you can see the markings in there. All right, so the final part is taking these bearings out, and it's pretty simple. You just use a 21 socket with an extension. You put that socket inside, and then you put the extension, and then with this, with just some punches, you take it out. It's coming out. Unfortunately, I don't have a vise, but holding with my shoes should suffice. There you go. So I decided to come to the shop in my university to be able to press the Nushings that I have in here to final drive. So I'm gonna show you how they are set up, because one has to go on one side and the other one has to go on the other side, and how to discern which one is which. All right, so as you can see, I have two Nushings in here, and as mentioned, one has to go depending if it's the fixed pivot or if it's the adjustable pivot. So in order to discern them, it's pretty simple. The one that has like a small protuberance in here, as you can see here in the video, is the one that goes with the adjustable. So the adjustable has the one that has this small thing, and of course it comes in here. And then the fixed one doesn't have anything, it's just flat, as you can see, and this is for the fixed pivot. So I'm gonna start with the adjustable pivot, and it's the one that goes in here. So I'm just gonna put this in here, and then we'll just press it. So let's start nice and easy. I'm just gonna put an aluminum in here, and also I want to put aluminum in here just to protect the pivots, so you can see. And then I'm just gonna start pulling from here. So this should place the pivot nice and steady. There you go. There you go. All right, let's move this a little bit towards here. And that should do it. All right. Now let's take this thing out. Now let's see how it looks. This, there you go, there we have it. Now I'm still want to be like 100% sure that this thing got pressed all the way down and not just like there's no gaps in here. So I'm just gonna use my old bearing and just like try to put a little bit more pressure, so I'm 100% sure that that thing is seated where it has to go. So let's start again. So I have flipped the final drive, and now we finally put the other pivot bearing, the non-adjustable pivot bearing. So just make sure that it's like towards this part of the final drive, and I'm just gonna apply this little thing here, and then I just need to put and the same thing. I'm just gonna put the old bearing on the old bearings that I have in here to be 100% sure that these get pressed all the way in. Alright, so a week has passed, so I'm gonna start assembling the final drive with the pressed pivot pins. And let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is apply some moly paste to the yoke and to the shaft. Push the yoke here with this hammer, and then mount with the bushings. I already applied some grease there, so this should be enough. It has like only one way to put it in, and with a small push, there you go. So now it's in. Alright, so next I'm gonna apply some grease here and inside here. And then the next part is placing the final drive there, and to do that what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach two of the bolts for the tires, so I can like rotate these while I try to match it with the splines inside the shaft. So let's do that next. I'm gonna take out this painter's tape. Now it's in there. So while this is being hauled, I'm gonna put the pivot, the fixed pivot, to be really careful because we don't want to damage the threads here. And there we go. So now we hand tied it, so we are 100% sure that we are not damaging the threads. And on top of that, I forgot to say this, but like no Loctite. With the Nushings, you don't use Loctite at all, and the threads have to be pre-cleaned. I did this off camera, but these should be pre-cleaned before anything. All right, so it's in here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna attach this temporarily. Then I'm gonna show later how to torque these. I'm gonna put this in here. loosely put this. All right, so now that we have this placed, I'm gonna put this towards the back, and then I'm gonna tighten this bolt to 160 Newton meters. So for the GS, the fixed pivot pin is 160 Newton meters. So 140, 150, and 160 more or less. Again, no thread lock. With the Nushings, it's advised to not use thread lock. Because if you put thread lock, when you want to disassemble these again, you will have to heat it. And then that will melt the Nushings, and you don't want that. Alright, 160. So after we have torqued these to 160, what happens next is that we're gonna start like making the pre-tightening of the adjustable pivot. So to do this, there's no torque specs for this, but you have to feel it by moving the final drive. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna start up, bolting this until the fixed pivot touches the washer on the Nushing, and then after that we tighten it a little bit more so it doesn't go down by the weight itself, and you have to move it with your hand. Alright, so taking this down, that's how it is. So we have I'm looking at the inside through the final drive and the case, and what I'm talking about is that this gap has to be closed. Where the pivot point touches the Nushings, this has to be closed. So we don't want any gap in here nor on the other side. And then when we have this closed, when there's no gap in here, we do the tightening. All right, so I'm gonna start doing that right now. All right, so now it's starting to close. If you can see better in here, that's the gap that we want closed. That gap that you can barely see there. So, as you can see, it's starting to close, and there you go. Now it's touching. As you can see, there's no gap in here. There's no gap. So this part is adjusted, and same for this side. This side is a little bit more difficult to see, but it's there, like the pivot is touching the Nushing. Alright, so according to the manual, the sweet spot is when the final drive doesn't go down by itself. As you can see here, when I release it, the weight of the final drive goes down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start tightening it and moving in arcs to see when that thing stops, the falling of the final drive. So just release this. So take this, tight a little bit, still goes down, tight a little bit. It's starting to get more tight, but still goes down by itself a little bit. So I'm gonna tighten it just a little bit more. Let's see. All right. So now you can see that it moves, but wherever I leave it, it stays. And that's what we want. That's what is needed here. That it doesn't move by itself, but like it gets moved by your hand. So now that this thing is moved with significantly force, but doesn't fall by itself, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna create, I have a marking here, and I'm gonna mark with my screw. You can mark it with something else, but I just don't have like paint. So I'm gonna make a mark here that is aligned with this, and then I'm gonna tighten this nut. According to the manual, it's 160. So I'm just gonna do that. Before I do that, I'm gonna apply some torque downwards. I don't want the motorcycle to fall on me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this temporarily. So I can hold this. So I'm just gonna lift this a little bit. There we go. And now I can torque this. Alright, so again, I have the markings in here. You can see that the mark that I just made, this one, it's aligned with this one. There you go. You come and see again, the marking is still aligned with the pivot. That means that it didn't move. So you can see there. So the final drive is mounted. I mounted the boot with a BMW zip tie. I personally think that you can basically use any zip tie, just use two. But I had one from BMW. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount the ABS sensor here and tighten it and start assembling everything. So to mount the ABS sensor, the manual recommends that you apply some oil in the O-rings before installing it. So that's pretty much. So the ABS sensor is 4 Newton meters. So let's set that to 4. It's really, it's like pretty much like nothing. So actually my torque wrench doesn't let me torque below 5, so I'm just gonna apply 5. There you go, 5. And that will be it. Hope it helps, and I hope it teaches you something. Thanks.